Hey folks, quick introduction here to this league. I'm gonna play a pretty stock blue-red Delver list in general. It's gonna be one of the blue-red Sprite Dragon variants. I really like the Young Pyromancer versions in the current meta, but I'm not gonna skip on people introducing Clout of Dominus in blue-red Delver. One of the blue-red Delver players in the Discord, Luca Tosselli, has been posting results with Clout of Dominus versions of this deck. I think it's a pretty neat idea. I think it can be very powerful. He said himself that it's probably not optimal, and I agree with him. But I do think it's very interesting. So if you want to know what Clout of Dominus exactly does, it's one blue-red hybrid aura, so we can pitch it to forces. And if the creature it enchants is blue, it gets +1/+1 in Shroud, and if it's red, it gets +1/+1 in Haste. The idea is that we throw it on our Sprite Dragon. So you throw it on the Sprite Dragon, it gets +1/+1 from casting the spell, and then twice +1/+1 from being both blue and red. So it's then immediately a 4/4, and it has Shroud. So if you get that off without the opponent removing it immediately, they're gonna have quite the tough time of removing it. So it's a way to really get your beatdown in against a lot of decks that have mostly have to rely on spot removal. But it's also not that bad with our other threats. Like, it's not great with Delver of Secrets, but sometimes a Shroud 4/3 flyer can just be good enough. I do like it a lot more on Dreadhorde Arcanist, where we can essentially recoup the card we invest right away by giving the Arcanist haste. So you give it +1/+1 and haste, essentially. It becomes a 2/4 creature, you attack with it, you cast one of your cantrips from your graveyard, and by attacking immediately, you basically have already recouped the Clout of Dominus you spent on it. Of course, there's a big risk there. If your opponent removes it in response or something like that, it's not great, but you can pick your spots and just wait for the right time to cast it. This does mean that we're a bit more aggressive and that we're a bit more mana intensive. So, in the more aggressive builds, I do sometimes like to go down to 18 lands. Luca also did this, so I want to try and go down to 18 lands. He went down to 18 lands with 4 wastelands still, but with Sprite Dragon being blue-red and the Cloud adding mana, if you ever want to turn 3 this combination, you need to have a lot of blue and red sources. So I might even consider going up to 4 Volcanic Islands and only 2 Wastelands. I think Wasteland is too big of a part of this deck to just go too low on it, but it's definitely a consideration. You could even just cut the Wasteland plan altogether and act more like the blue-red Delver decks, which basically play a couple of more burn spells in those slots and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this is a fun deck. I've kept my sideboard mostly as I have it. I've had it in other blue-red Delver leagues. I did switch my second Blazing Volley to Rough Tumble. Basically, if I have this setup with Sprite Dragons, Rough Tumble becomes a lot better because it doesn't hit our own Young Pyromancers. And I like having this split here. Rough is a bit better against some decks. Blazing Volley is a bit better against other decks. We don't always have access to Dreadhorde Arcanist, so I just go for the split here. Yeah, that's it. Let's get into the games and let's have some fun with Clout of Dominus Delver. Let's go.